Welcome, curious minds, to the Urban Herald. We're so glad you could join us. We're part of the Urban Herald team, and today, well, we're on a mission. Our goal is to give you a real shortcut, a proper deep dive into being incredibly well informed about, let's face it, Paris's greatest cultural powerhouse, the Louvre Museum. We want to go beyond just, surface level stuff. We're talking surprising facts, essential strategies, and insights that'll genuinely enrich how you see it.
It's a huge place, honestly. Just imagine, it started as a 12th century fortress, and now it's sprawling over 73,000 square meters packed with something like 35,000 artworks on display. Its journey from, well, a medieval stronghold to the planet's most visited museum. That's an epic story in itself, and yeah, we're excited to unpack that with you.
Absolutely. And today, it's not just about listing famous names, no. We're aiming for a complete, really rich analysis. Think enigmatic smiles, huge, monumental triumphs, ancient wonders, the revolutionary spirit captured on canvas, all of it housed within these, well, quite hallowed halls.
Yeah.
Get ready for a pretty fascinating journey through artistic genius. Okay, so we framed the Louvre as this living testament to history, right? But its story starts somewhere maybe a bit unexpected. Its origins are actually, well, quite gritty. It began as a fortress, commissioned by Philippe Auguste way back in 1190. Can you even picture that transformation?
It's truly remarkable, and over the centuries, it shifted, from that very robust military building into a lavish royal home. Francis I, during the Renaissance, he brought in Pierre Lescot to really start changing things. And then Henri IV added that magnificent Grand Gallery between 1595 and 1610. That really set the stage for its future grandeur.
And then a pivotal moment, wasn't it? 1793, this decision to open up the royal collections to the public. What was the real significance there?
Oh, it was huge. A profound democratization of culture, really. I mean, this wasn't just letting people look at art. It fundamentally changed how society saw its heritage, made it accessible to, well, everyone, not just the royals and the rich. That act really laid the groundwork for the Louvre becoming a national museum. A pretty groundbreaking idea back then.
Right. Fast forward to, well, more modern times.
Yeah.
Just can't discuss the Louvre without talking about IMP's glass pyramid. Finished in 1988, and boy, was it controversial at first. People had strong opinions. But now, it's undeniably one of Paris's most iconic landmarks, isn't it? It acts as both, a practical entrance and this kind of symbolic link between the classical building and contemporary design. Plus, it's your main navigation hub, directing you to the museum's three main wings. Super important. So, with that incredible history as a backdrop, let's pivot to what really pulls in the crowds, millions of them. The absolute must-see masterpieces. The pinnacle, you could say, of human artistic achievement.
Indeed. These are the works that, for so many visitors, truly define the whole Louvre experience.
And leading the charge, the one drawing, over 6 million visitors every year, Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa.
Yes, painted between 1503 and 1519, this smallish oil portrait of Lisa Gherardini. It's revolutionary, mainly because of Leonardo's fumato technique. It's that incredibly subtle blending of colors and tones, right? Creates this hazy, soft atmosphere. And that smile, that famously enigmatic, almost shifting quality, just invites endless speculation.
And her backstory, it's almost as famous as the smile itself. I mean, who can forget that sensational theft back in 1911? Vincenzo Peruggia, he hid it for 2 whole years. And the irony is that theft kind of paradoxically catapulted her fame into the stratosphere, turned it from a respected painting into an absolute global icon.
Definitely. Now, if you're planning to see her, well, brace yourself for crowds, especially between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. You could be waiting 30, maybe 45 minutes. For a better shot, try to get there right when it opens at 9 a.m. Or, this is a good tip, use the late openings on Wednesdays and Fridays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. The crowds thin out dramatically then.
Okay, from that enigmatic smile to, well, timeless perfection, let's move to antiquity's most celebrated sculpture, the Venus de Milo. You'll find her in Gallery 16 of the Sully Wing.
Ah, yes. Created somewhere between 130 and 100 BC. It's a 2-meter marble discovered on the Greek island of Melos back in 1820. But what really elevates it, I think, beyond just being a beautiful statue, is the power of its incompleteness. Those missing arms. Far from being a defect, they actually invite millions of us to imagine countless possibilities, don't they? It makes her maybe more universal, more timeless than if she were perfectly intact.
And its arrival at the Louvre, that's quite a story too. Acquired for King Louis VIII in 1821, it really spoke to France's ambition at the time, wanting to be seen as this guardian of classical heritage. Now, for sheer drama, you can't beat the winged victory of Samothrace, can you? Perched right at the top of the Daru staircase, it's this majestic 5.57-meter monument. It creates, honestly, one of the most breathtaking moments in the entire museum.
It really does. It dates from around 190 BC, and it was originally meant to commemorate a naval victory. Its placement is genius on what looks like a ship's prow. It creates this incredible illusion of the goddess Nike in divine flight, landing right there. The French archaeologist Charles Champollion found it in 1863, and the sculpture itself. The way the drapery seems windswept, clinging to her body, that's the famous wet drapery technique. Just masterful, capturing movement in solid stone.
And what's fascinating is how it still resonates today. I read its 2014 restoration revealed some interesting details about ancient paintwork, the polychromy. But its impact isn't just academic, is it? It even popped up in pop culture. Beyonce and Jay-Z used it prominently in their Ape Shit music video. Shows how ancient art keeps inspiring. Okay, moving to a canvas that really captures the revolutionary spirit that forged modern France. We're talking about Eugene Delacroix's Liberty Leading the People. It really commands attention in room 700 of the Denon Wing.
Painted right after the July Revolution in 1830. This work basically turns political chaos into, well, artistic immortality. You have that iconic figure of liberty bare-breasted, wearing the Phrygian cap of freedom, powerfully leading citizens over the barricades, waving the tricolor flag. And you can see Notre Dame faintly in the background. Delacroix's use of that pyramidal composition, the dramatic light and shadow, the chiaroscuro, it just emphasizes the raw emotion. It's become this universal symbol of, popular sovereignty.
And its own history is pretty compelling, too. Its powerful message actually led to it being removed from public view during more conservative times. So its permanent installation back in the Louvre really reflects France eventually embracing those revolutionary ideals as part of its core national identity. From revolution, let's shift to empire. Next up, Jacques-Louis David's The Coronation of Napoleon. This thing is huge, 9.7 by 6.2 meters in room 702. It's really the peak of neoclassical history painting.
David was essentially Napoleon's official propagandist. He meticulously recreated the ceremony from December 2nd, 1804. But what's really interesting is the artistic license David took. He shows Napoleon crowning Josephine, not himself, which is historically accurate for that moment, but the bigger point was Napoleon crowning himself earlier. And even more telling, he included Napoleon's mother, Letizia, who actually boycotted the whole event because she was estranged from him. It's just a masterclass in how official art often serves political goals, sometimes more than strict historical accuracy.
Right, bending the truth for the narrative. And David's own story, his exile after Napoleon fell, adds this poignant layer, doesn't it? Reminds us that artistic fame often outlasts the political powers it served. Okay, shifting gears now to something really confronting. A depiction of humanity's capacity for both, well, survival and utter savagery. Theodore Géricault's monumental The Raft of the Medusa, also in room 700, Denon Wing. Huge canvas, nearly 5 by over 7 meters.
Painted between 1818 and 1819, this work took a contemporary scandal, the horrific 1816 shipwreck of the French frigate Méduse and the survivors' ordeal, including starvation, cannibalism, just awful stuff, and turned it into this timeless statement about human nature. Géricault's preparation was intense, almost obsessive. He interviewed survivors, built models of the raft, even studied corpses and body parts from morgues to achieve this shocking level of realism. It really set new standards for history painting with its raw depiction of suffering, but also, importantly, that tiny flicker of hope as they spot a ship.
And its reception at the 1819 Salon. It was controversial, right? French society wasn't exactly comfortable with such a brutally honest look at a recent national failure and its grim consequences. But Géricault's decision, his bold choice to tackle the subject without a commission, really showcased those emerging romantic ideals, the artist's independence, and focus on powerful emotion.
All right, to wrap up our masterpiece highlights, let's soak in some neoclassical beauty. Antonio Canova's exquisite sculpture, Psyche Revived by Cupid's Kiss. You'll find it in the Michelangelo Gallery. This piece really shows how neoclassical sculpture could turn ancient myths into, well, marble poetry.
Absolutely. Created between 1787 and 1793, it captures that incredibly tender moment from Apuleius' story, The Golden Ass, where Cupid's kiss awakens the seemingly lifeless Psyche. Canova's technical skill is just breathtaking. He makes cold marble look like warm, soft flesh through these amazing contrasts, smooth skin against the texture of drapery or hair. And the sensuality, it's not overt, it's in the gentle gestures, the embrace. It perfectly embodies those neoclassical ideas about beauty having a kind of moral dimension. And its journey is interesting, too. It passed through various private hands, royal collections, before finally entering the Louvre in 1824. It sort of mirrors that democratization of art we talked about earlier. Okay, so we've walked through some absolute giants. But now let's talk strategy. Enriching your visit beyond just ticking off the big names, and crucially, how to navigate this massive place. Practical tips are just as vital as appreciating the art, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. Understanding the Louvre's basic layout is key. It's split into three main wings, branching off that central pyramid area. You've got Denal, that's where most of the must-sees like the Mona Lisa are. Then Sully, which houses ancient civilizations, lots of Egyptian stuff and French sculpture. And finally, Richelieu, focusing on Northern European art, decorative arts. Knowing this helps you plan a logical route and honestly saves your feet.
And the entrance you pick, that can seriously make or break the start of your visit. The main pyramid entrance, under the glass pyramid, usually has the longest lines. You could wait 30 minutes or more sometimes. The Carrousel du Louvre entrance, that's underground from the shopping mall, it's often a bit quicker and great if the weather's bad. But here's the pro tip, the savvy visitor's secret weapon, the Porte de Lyon entrance. It's a bit tucked away, often has waits of only like 5 minutes, and boom, you're straight into the den and wing near the Italian paintings.
Exactly. Just be aware its hours can be more limited, especially in the evening, so double check that. And timing inside the museum matters too. Crowds follow pretty predictable patterns. That first hour after opening, 9 a.m., is golden, relatively peaceful. Then it builds. 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. is peak time, with maybe 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. being the absolute busiest. Things usually calm down a bit between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. But for the most serene experience, definitely those Wednesday and Friday evening hours, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's a different world.
And even before you set foot near the place, some essential prep work is vital now. Booking tickets online in advance, it's pretty much mandatory, especially during peak season, say June to August. It guarantees you get in and lets you bypass the ticket buying queues entirely. Also, download the official Louvre app. It's got maps, info, audio tours, very useful. And be realistic about time. Even if you're just racing through the highlights, you need, bare minimum, probably 2.5 to 3 hours. Anything less is just frantic. Okay, beyond the really famous headliners like Mona Lisa and Venus de Milo, the Louvre has these foundational ancient treasures that are just as mind-blowing, really.
Oh, absolutely. Take the Code of Hammurabi. This is one of humanity's earliest known comprehensive sets of laws, dating all the way back to 1750 BC. It's carved onto this impressive 2.25-meter tall black basalt steel. Its eye for an eye principle might sound harsh now, but it represented a huge step towards structured justice. Its influence on later legal systems is undeniable, found by French archaeologists in Iran back in 1901. And there's the Great Sphinx of Tanis. It's this massive, imposing granite sphinx that guards the entrance to the Egyptian Antiquities Department down in the crypt. Dates from around 2600 BC. It perfectly embodies that ancient Egyptian concept of divine kingship, and it really sets the mood for exploring one of the world's greatest collections of Egyptian artifacts, a department largely established by Champollion himself, the guy who deciphered hieroglyphs.
And for just sheer dazzling opulence, you absolutely have to visit the Apollo Gallery to see the crown jewels of France. We're talking about 60 meters of pure luxury, about 105 extraordinary pieces, crowns, diamonds, incredible gemstones that somehow survived revolutions and the fall of monarchies.
It's stunning. You can see pieces like Louis the Davis coronation crown, Empress Eugenie's incredible diamond bow brooch, just staggering workmanship. And that gallery itself, the Apollo Gallery, is a masterpiece of decoration too. And digging a little deeper beyond those, if you have time, consider the Napoleon III apartments. They reopened fairly recently, June 2024, I think. These incredibly opulent rooms give you this intimate peek into the lavish lifestyle of France's Second Empire. It's like stepping back into the 19th century. Also, don't miss the Islamic art collection. It's housed in these amazing contemporary galleries under a golden, undulating roof in the Cour Visconti. Displays around 3,000 objects spanning 1,300 years. It really showcases the incredible sophistication and diversity of Islamic art and culture.
Wow, what a journey we've taken today, right through the Louvre's incredible history, its transformation, exploring some truly iconic masterpieces, and hopefully arming you with some really essential practical tips for making the most of your own visit.
Yeah, and if you connect all this to the bigger picture, the Louvre isn't just, a dusty old collection of objects. It's dynamic. It's this constantly evolving story of human ingenuity, our resilience, our transformations over millennia. Each piece has its own narrative, right? And together they weave this incredible tapestry of global cultural heritage.
Absolutely. And whether you realistically only have 3 hours or you're lucky enough to dedicate 3 whole days, the Louvre offers experiences that can genuinely shift your perspective on art, on history, on what humans are capable of achieving. It really guarantees moments, encounters with art that will stay with you long after you've left those grand halls.
Which I suppose brings us to a final, maybe provocative thought for you, the listener. This raises an important question. What masterpiece, or maybe even just a hidden detail, something tucked away in a corner, what might you discover on your visit that speaks uniquely to you? Something that reshapes your own understanding of human creativity and its incredible enduring power.
That is a powerful thought to leave with. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive with the Urban Herald team. We really hope you'll explore more with us again soon.